Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and today we are doing another video in my wrap up for 2021. And in today's video I'm going to be looking at the 4 series that I actually managed to finish in the year of 2021. 2 of which I've actually managed to find physical copies of the first book. 1 I have lost in my shelves and 1 I don't actually own at all. So this is going to be really fun. So I had hoped to finish 5 series in the year of 2021. I only managed to finish 4, but that's okay. That's fine. Like, there are still so many series that I am only 1 book away from finishing. Hopefully in 2022 I will wrap those up and actually get through them. But we can but hope, and we will see in my 2022 wrap up if that happens. So the first series that I managed to finish in the year of 2021 was the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. I buddy read this whole series with my lovely friend Kate, and I think this was the first buddy read we ever did, and then it's been a beautiful friendship ever since. So yes, this was the first series that I managed to finish. This is a sci-fi fantasy thing. Like, I would say this is fantasy, but I think it is also classed as sci-fi. So we are following our main character Essen, and this is split into her perspective and then 2 other perspectives. I think there are 3 in here. It's been a while since I've read this. I would say this series as a whole would be a 4-star series. I did really enjoy it. I read obviously all 3 books. That was a silly thing to say. I loved all 3 books is what I meant to say. I like the fantasy element. The writing of this did make it a little bit slower for me to read, purely for the perspective in which you're following. So there is a lot of "you have woken up and done this," and it was a bit jarring to get used to, but the story is really, really good. The characters are fantastic in this. This is set in like a post-apocalyptic world, essentially like centuries from now, when the world is split into different parts, and there is a power in this in which you can like sense the earth and make the earth do things, but that's bad and wrong, and people will attack you if they find out that you have that ability. Again, I really enjoyed this series. I don't really know what else much to say. I think this was a great place to start with N.K. Jemisin's writing. I also read The City We Became after this, and that's also equally good. I really enjoyed that as well this year. But yeah, I thought this was a really good trilogy. The books aren't too scarily massive, which is another benefit, because a lot of fantasy series are quite big. And I loved the world, and the ending, I really enjoyed the ending, because we do follow multiple characters, and then in the last book they all kind of come together, and that's quite cool. So yeah, there's loads of twists and turns within this book. If you like a twisty-turny book and things never quite being what you think they are, then you would probably quite enjoy 5th season. The second series I finished was The Never Tilting World by Rinch Pecco. This is a duology, there's 2 books. I really enjoyed the first book. I loved it. I thought it was so good. This is a split perspective book, so we are following 2 separate princesses from separate sides of the world who both believe that the other side is dead and isn't a thing anymore, and they have to come together to essentially fix the world. And I really loved the first book. I loved the perspectives. There are a couple of other perspectives thrown in as well. I found one of the characters really annoying throughout the first book, and she doesn't get any better in the second book, which, you know, isn't great. But the second book really let me down, so I think this series as a whole has got to be about a 3-star series. I loved the first book. The first book was definitely a 4-star, but the second book was only a 3-star for me, because the character who I found annoying in the first book just got worse in the second, and I didn't enjoy the second as a whole as much as I enjoyed the first book, so it really, in my opinion, let the series down, which is a shame. But I did enjoy the fantasy aspect, I did enjoy the world, I did enjoy how half of the world is constantly in darkness and ice and half of the world is constantly in sun and is scorched and is a desert. Love that premise, love the premise that the world has stopped turning. The Never Tilting World being a clue. So yeah, this series was quite good. Probably wouldn't reread, or I might reread the first book and then just leave it at that and forget the second book exists. I then went on to finish the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. I'm pretty sure I finished it the month that As Good as Dead came out. Pretty sure. Loved it. So good. I love this. So we are following our main character Pip in this, and she has decided to do her EPQ, which is like an additional project that you can do in the UK, on a murder that was kind of solved a couple of years back, but Pip believes that the person that everyone else thinks murdered Andy Bell, who is the girl that was murdered, didn't do it, and she thinks there is more to it, so that is what she dedicates her project to. And I think this book, the sequel, the third book, and the novella little thing from World Book Day were incredible. I loved these, I ate them up. The third book was a bit iffy for me, purely for the fact that the main mystery bit happens in the first part, and then the second part is how they have to get around what happened in the first part. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it, but this whole series is definitely my favourite series that I read this year. I really enjoyed it. I've had like a love of YA mystery thrillers recently. I kind of always have. I love Karen M. McManus. She is such a good writer, and she also falls into the YA thriller mystery kind of thing. But this is my favourite series of this year, like completed series that I've read this year. So good. The twists and turns in this were fantastic. I don't think I guessed any of them. I might have guessed one or two or seen where it was going, but there was still always a twist somewhere for me to enjoy, which is fantastic. The third and final book is quite chunky, which I really enjoyed as well. Just love it. And there's relationships in this, which I'm not really a big romancy person, but the relationship between Pip and the person she ends up in a relationship with in the first book is fantastic. It's so good. I love it. The ending of the third and final book, love it. Heartbreaking. Such a good series. Absolutely adored this. Top series of 2021. And then the final series that I managed to finish in 2021 was the Christmas Chronicles, I believe, by Matt Haig. So that is A Boy Called Christmas, The Girl Who Saved Christmas, and Father Christmas and Me. There are other books like interspersed between that, but I think they're the three main in the trilogy, and then there's like branches off, I guess. I would say this series is probably a low 4 stars for me. I really enjoyed most of the books in this series. I thought they were quite good. It's a middle grade, so it's definitely not going to take my top spot anywhere, because I'm not a big middle grade reader anyways. I just thought that they were the most Christmassy books that I could find on my library app and on Audible for me to read in December, because I don't really own many seasonal books. I suppose the most seasonal books I own would be Halloween, because, you know, spooky, and I like thrillers and mysteries and stuff, so that makes sense. But yeah, I'd say this series is low 4 stars for me. I really enjoyed this series. I thought it was really good. I love how the characters are linked throughout all 3 books, and I like the development that you see. It's just overall like quite a good little series for middle grade, I think, you know. But there you go. There are all 4 series that I managed to read in the year 2021. Very short and sweet video today, because obviously I didn't finish that many series. I started a heck of a lot of series, and if you haven't seen that, all the series that I've started and currently up to date with are in a series update that I did before Christmas. That is a long video, so I'll link that up here for you. Make sure you go and check it out, because it took me a while to film that video, if I'm completely honest. There are plenty of book series that I want to finish this year, and I have like 1 book left of so many things, or I've read the first book of so many things and just never carried on. I need to get that sorted. I need to fix that. I need to make that a priority this year, and I'm hoping to do so. I have already finished 1 series this year, but spoiler alert, it's a bit of a cheat one, because it was a graphic novel series that I haven't even got on my shelves. It was just a really cute one that I found. But you can see more of that in my January wrap up when that gets filmed, so make sure you're sticking around for that. But yeah, that is everything for today's short and sweet video. If you did enjoy it, please give me a thumbs up, really supports me and my channel. Leave me a comment down below of a series that you managed to finish in the year of 2021. If you don't want to leave me a full comment and just want to leave an emoji, please leave a stack of books emoji just to symbolise a series. And if you want to see more of me, I am uploading every single day this week, because apparently I keep wanting to do this to myself. So if you want to see more of me and come back tomorrow, then please consider subscribing down below and ringing the notification bell so you get notified every single time I upload new videos. Again, I will be uploading every single day this week, but usually I upload on a Wednesday and on a Sunday, so be sure to stick around for more bookish content from me. But otherwise, that is everything for today's video. I hope you're having an amazing day, and once again, I will see you tomorrow for another video. Bye.